Hey everybody, this is Britt with Vine Dresser Lawn and Landscape, and today I've got a little outline. I want to go over the truth about having a nice lawn, having a lush lawn, and what you need to know. And I have 6 bullet points, and I'm going to go through them, and I'm going to show you some pictures of my yard and the progression of when we first started treating it to where it is now. And just a bullet point, I got some sub points that I want to talk about. So the first thing is having a lush lawn is it takes time. You need water, a water source. You need to mow, you need to fertilize. You're going to need weed control, and then you need to trust the process. If you think about planting a seed, if you've ever planted anything, any type of seed in your life, you don't just plant the seed and then go over there and start digging the seed up to see if it grows, then cover it back with soil, and then wait a little while and then dig it back up, cover it up with soil, dig it back up to see if it's growing. You plant the seed in the ground, you water it, you supply the nutrients, and then you trust the process. And so lawn care, fertilization, weed control is the same thing. We got to trust the process, and I want to go through this outline process with you. So number one, first bullet point, it takes time. Nobody wants to hear this, but unless you've got a lush lawn already and you've just got other issues with your lawn care company, it's going to take 2 to 3 years to turn your lawn around. And depending on what time frame, what season, that could take less time if you came in January. It could take more time if you came in the middle of summer. So depending on when you come on board, that can change the timeline, so to speak. Because think about it, we have to clean up the weeds, and that can take up to 18 months to clean the weeds up, to get a control, just due to the life cycle of the different weeds, of spring weeds, of summer weeds, and winter weeds. Due to those life cycles, it can take a full season to 18 months to get a control of those with pre and post emergence. And at the same time, we only have 5 to 6 months of active grass growing season. You've got June, July, August, September, October. Really 5 months to get that grass to fill in. So if we've come in and we've killed all the weeds, it's a hard task depending on the size of the property, depending on the condition of the lawn, to get all that grass to fill in one season. And then disease and pest can slow this process down. So if you've got disease issues or you got pest issues, that's going to put a monkey wrench in our whole process of coming in, cleaning up the weeds, and then encouraging the grass to grow. And so all that needs to be taken into consideration when you're coming on with a lawn care company. To reiterate, it takes time, 2 to 3 years. If you're jumping from lawn care company to lawn care company, to be honest, if Vine Dresser is not the company for you, fine, but don't jump from company to company. You need to stick with them 2 to 3 years to get good results. Second bullet point is let me show you pictures of my own lawn now that I say it takes time. And so this is the backyard. I'm just going to walk through this. I hope these pictures come up quick. I probably should have. There it is. All right, so this is March of 2022, my property. We've been taking care of it. I think we started in January of 2021, but this is March of 2022. This is probably like some old bahia right here. My lawn was covered in bahia, and then we would just do patchwork from leftover sod work. So this is what the condition of the lawn in March 2022. This is in May of 2022. I'd put some sand down to fill in some bare spots. But you can see this big patch all right here is bahia. There's tons of bahia to the top right of that palm tree. There's bahia over here by the garage door. So this is May 2022, still looking rough, and you can see the sprinkler in the middle of the lawn. So it was, needless to say, to water correctly, it was hard to do with that sprinkler. It took discipline, dedication, and a lot of times I didn't water as much as I should have. So this is June of 2022, not looking bad, but you can definitely see on the outskirts where it's not getting the water that it looks really rough still. if I can zoom in, there's tons of Bahia still in it, which is just a hard grass to cut. If you don't really care about having a pristine lawn, then Bahia might work for you because it's low maintenance. But if you care about having nice grass, you want to get the Bahia out. And so we worked on that. This is June of 2023. So this is a year later, June of 2022, June of 2023. You know what the biggest game changer was? Still on the same program. You know what the biggest game changer was? You see this line in the middle? I got irrigation. Now it was automatic. I could set my watering schedule and know that I was going to get the appropriate amount of water each season. So this is June of 2024. And I'll say what set apart June 2023 and 2024 from all the other years also. One, watering. Two, I'm mowing twice a week. Now, I top dressed the whole lawn with sand, trying to level it out. I put a little less than 15 tons of sand on it, so you can see some of the spots with sand are still trying to fill in. But overall, the grass looks decent. I'm mowing it twice a week. And so that's a 2 year, that's 2 years, but it really took 3 years to get to this point, to get the grass under control. And it took dedication. I mean, it wasn't like, we've been working at it, and I've been mowing, it's been working me to death trying to keep it up, mowing twice a week, but so far so good. I think I mowed it twice a week all last season, both front and back. Now we're waiting on these next. This is the backyard. All right, so this is June of 2022 in the backyard, and it's just a mess full of centipede, a little bit of Bermuda, St. Augustine, mainly St. Augustine, Bermuda, zoysia, and tons of Bahia. You can see this big old bare patch right here and a bare patch right here. This is June of 2022. This is August of 2022. You say, hey, well, the grass looks decent, but it is primarily Bahia. And so I was still cutting it probably bi-weekly, and it was just hard to mow. It was like 6-7 inches tall when you'd mow it, and I'd hack it down and then let it grow back. The Bahia grows pretty fast. So this is March of 2023. And so you can see bare spots here. You can see this big bare spot by the fire pit and all in here. And so all that used to be Bahia, and we slowly killed the Bahia out. And so you can see the bare spots. Look at June of 2023. Killed out the Bahia here, killed out the Bahia here, all right in here. And this is when we got irrigation also. You can see the irrigation line right here on the left side of the property. And you can see an irrigation line. I think there's one right here, and the head may stop. The head might be like right here somewhere. Anyway, big bare spots because we worked on killing out the Bahia grass. We worked on killing out the weeds, and there was a lot of bare spots left over. And so it took all season to get this to fill in. June 2023, not all season, but it took some time. So this is April of 2024. Pretty much completely full now. 2 years into it, we've got a full lawn. And this is June of, it might be actually the end of May of 2024. So the end of May this year. And so it's filled in. I put some sand in some low spots, filled it in. Got some St. Augustine here that's yellowing out, and it's pretty much greened up now. I've hit it with a little Iron Plus micronutrient, and it was either iron deficiency or it was just new St. Augustine growing, and it didn't have time to uptake the nitrogen. And you can see how it was really yellow, and then it's fading out. And it's almost gone now. This picture might be of May, but I'm shooting this video June 12th, and it is gone. But I wanted to show you those pictures to show you that not only am I the president, I'm the lawn care client. You know, it takes 2 to 3 years to get your lawn under control. Second bullet point is you need water. You need to water regularly in the morning. The reason you water in the morning is so that I did a whole video on on summer watering, spring watering, but you water in the morning so to make sure that the soil takes up the water, that it doesn't evaporate, that less wind in the morning, so it's not going to blow up. You're going to get better coverage, less disease pressure in the morning. You want to, in the spring, you want to water 1 to 1.5 inches. In the summer, up to 2 inches. In the fall, 1.5 inches. And then in the winter, don't let it dry it out. If it doesn't rain, if it doesn't rain enough to get those inches per season, you've got to supplement it with irrigation. And it's just really hard to do with a rotating sprinkler. You got to have an irrigation, in my opinion. But I know there's people out there that can't afford the irrigation, so just know that the lawn is always going to struggle if it's not getting proper water. Third bullet point is you need to mow. And I'm going to put this down. You need to mow as often as possible. So what brought my lawn to the next level was irrigation, water, and mowing it twice a week. And nobody wants to hear that unless you just got plenty of time. It's hard for us as a company. We can't mow twice a week, but we can definitely mow weekly. And so I would say if you can't mow twice a week to get it to really mow, you need to be mowing once a week. Whether we're cutting the grass, whether you're cutting the grass, whether you got another guy cutting the grass, it needs to be mowed once a week. The reason being is you don't want to take off more than 1/3 of a blade at one time. Impossible to do if you're fertilizing and watering. That's impossible to do if you're fertilizing and watering your grass. So this takes work. Having a nice lawn takes work. Somebody's going to have to put in the sweat equity. It's either you pay somebody to do it or you're going to do it yourself, but somebody's got to do it. You can't just, unless you get artificial turf, you go in, lay your rock down, lay your carpet down, and then you're done. You might have to get some Roundup just to spray the weeds, but dealing with real turf grass with a lawn, it takes work. I'll say this, the more you mow warm season grass, the better it's going to look, and the more it's going to spread. Warm season grass, instead of growing up, when you mow it, the more often you mow it, it's going to spread out. It's going to fill in those bare spots quicker. That's the whole point of me mowing twice a week, is to get it thick. And, I am fertilizing the front yard heavy, 4 to 5 pounds of nitrogen per year, trying to push the Bermuda in the front. So I got to mow to keep it in that 1/3 of a leaf blade. I got to mow twice a week to keep 1/3 of a leaf blade. And then I also want it to get thick and spread out as much and as fast as possible. So you need to mow. You need to mow often. The fourth thing you need to do is fertilize. Once the grass is fully greened up and there's no sign of frost, you want to start fertilizing your lawn. For Bermuda and zoysia, you want to do a 2-to-1 nitrogen to potassium fertilizer. For centipede St. Augustine, you want to do a 1-to-1 nitrogen to potassium fertilizer. So a 1-to-1 is like a 15-0-15. A 2-to-1 would be a 22-0-12. Bermuda, 3 pounds per 1,000. 3 pounds of nitrogen per 1,000 square foot spread over 3 to 4 feedings over the summer. Zoysia, 2 to 3 pounds. Centipede, 2 pounds of nitrogen per 1,000 square foot. St. Augustine, 2 pounds. You could go up to 4 pounds with St. Augustine. We treat centipede and St. Augustine the same, so you're going to get 2 pounds per 1,000 square foot over 3 to 4 feedings. So, you would put down you would put down 3/4 of a pound for nitrogen, 0.75. You would put down 1/2 pound of nitrogen, 0.75 pound per 1,000 square foot, 3 to 4 feedings for Bermuda zoysia, 1/2 pound of nitrogen per 1,000 square foot, 3 to 4 feedings for St. Augustine. So each feeding, 1/2 pound for St. Augustine. For all warm season turf in the fall, you want to put down 1 pound of potash per 1,000 square feet, 4 to 6 weeks before the expected frost, and that is going to help for grass going into, it's winterizing your lawn, help it go in the dormancy, and it's going to help it come out of dormancy the next season. And then so number 5, the 5th bullet point is you're going to need weed control. And so you want to put down a split app of pre and post emergent in the fall and winter months, and then a split app of pre and post emergent in the late winter, early spring. And so you want, like, when the weather is cool, that's when we want to target the weeds. We want to, as much as possible, prevent weeds from growing, so that when it's warm out, we can focus on getting the grass to fill in, the grass to thicken up, and the grass to do its thing. And so anytime you put a herbicide on the lawn, and it might not kill the grass, but it's not healthy for it. Like, I'll say this, like, putting a lot of post-emergent on centipede, you're going to ding it up. Centipede doesn't like pre and post-emergent herbicides. And so we want to minimize that as much as possible. And so during the cooler season is when you want to work on the weed control. And in the summer, you want to work on fertilizing the grass. And so if all summer long you're going out there and we're coming back to spot treat for weeds, and like, think about it. Like, if you come in and you don't have round 1 and 2 pre and post emergent, or round 6 or 7 from the year before, you're going to have weed pressure in the summer. You might as well deal with it, encourage the grass to grow, to fill in, and then start taking control of those weeds in the fall, winter, late winter, early spring, when it's less harmful, when it does less damage to the grass, and it's easier to get that under control. Don't let a little weeds discourage you. Just keep mowing. In the next season, it's going to get better. The next season is going to get better. You're building a foundation, and it's just going to get better and better and better, versus trying to fix it all at once. So weed control in the fall, winter, early spring, and eating the grass in the summer. And then my last bullet point, number 6, is trust the process. This is not going to happen overnight. You're not going to be weed free overnight. Yes, we can do a lot in a short amount of time to really get a good head start on your lawn, but it takes time. It is a process. You have to trust it. Think about that seed I said at the beginning. Stop digging up the seed. Let it go. Trust the process. Trust us. We're trying to we run an honest business. We're trying to do everything by the book. We're trying to do everything appropriate. I'm always studying on what needs to be done. We're always going to continuing education. Each week, I study for these videos. I study the topic I'm talking about, so I'm always educating myself. Charles is always educating himself. We're always reading labels. I'm talking to other lawn care guys, seeing what they're doing. I've got 4 lawn care Facebook groups that I'm in, and I'm seeing what other guys are doing across the country, what they're dealing, like what they're doing what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong. Just always trying to find the best possible program, and always tweaking the program to make it as the best as possible and affordable as possible. And so all that, I say, trust the process, let it do its work. It might take 2 to 3 years, but it's worth it, because once it gets under control, it's way easier to maintain. I hope this video helps you out. If we can help you out in any way, let us know. Have a good day.